The Football League Cup may be by far the least prestigious major honour in English football, but it is an honour nonetheless. It has thrown up the odd surprise and has provided many clubs with great memories at Wembley. In 1969, when the Cup was in its infancy, a strongly fancied Arsenal side faced off against a Swindon Town side in the third tier of English football. What happened next was one of the biggest shocks that English football had seen. This is the story of Swindon vs Arsenal, the biggest shock in League Cup history. The League Cup was introduced in 1960 after a proposal by the Secretary of the Football League. Alan Hardacre had proposed increasing the Football League from 92 teams to 100, with 5 divisions made up of 20 clubs. On top of this, he also proposed an additional cup competition to compensate for the lost fixtures. His proposal to shake up the league system was rejected, but they liked his idea of the additional cup competition and kept it. The tournament was one that could take advantage of the fact that stadiums now had floodlights, and so League Cup games could be played in midweek. Many clubs initially declined to partake, but when they saw a day at Wembley on offer and the introduction of a European spot for the winners in 1968, clubs soon changed their mind. The tournament threw up the odd surprise in its early years. Second Division Rotherham United reached the first final, where they narrowly lost out to Aston Villa. Lower tier teams such as Norwich and QPR also took the trophy home in early years. The 1969 final would be competed between Bertie Mee's Arsenal and 3rd Division Swindon Town. Arsenal had lost the final the year before, being defeated 1-0 by Don Revie's Leeds. Understandably, as a First Division side, Arsenal was strong favourites to go one better and take the trophy home for the first time. Arsenal had defeated Sunderland, Scunthorpe, Liverpool, Blackpool and fierce rivals Tottenham to reach the final. With a 6-1 win over Scunthorpe, a 5-1 win over Blackpool, and wins against the Tottenham side managed by Bill Nicholson and the Liverpool side managed by Bill Shankly, it was an impressive run. Swindon, meanwhile, had scraped their way to the final. They had knocked out Torquay, Bradford City, Blackburn Rovers, Coventry City, Derby County and Burnley. They had not been as convincing as Arsenal, with 3 of the ties going to replays, and they won only 1 of the games by more than 1 goal. That being said, they did defeat Brian Clough's Derby, which was certainly no mean feat. Wembley was in an extremely poor condition before the game. Only a week before, it had hosted the Horse of the Year show, and as a result had been trampled all over. This was not helped by heavy rain either. Swindon winger Donald Rogers reflected, "The pitch was really bad, but it was in good nick compared to ours, so we were used to it. It suited us." The game kicked off, and unsurprisingly, Arsenal started on top. Swindon goalkeeper Peter Downsborough impressed, making a series of saves and being on hand to catch crosses. Arsenal keeper Bob Wilson also had to be called into action, but the Gunners began to get frustrated, and on minute 35, things all went downhill for the Londoners. Arsenal had the ball in their own half, and Peter Noble passed it to Ian but the ball was too far ahead of who couldn't get enough contact on the ball, and as he reached out a foot, it bounced off forward Roger Smart, and the ball trickled into the Arsenal net. Swindon had a shock lead, and went in at half-time ahead. Arsenal needed to up their game, and quickly. In the second half, they attacked Swindon time and time again, but Peter Downsborough was seemingly impenetrable. Swindon defended for their lives, knowing that such an opportunity might never present itself to them again, but with 4 minutes remaining, they finally cracked. Downsborough came out for his goal to meet the ball, but the ball bounced off him and into the air. Bobby Gould ran onto it, and headed the ball into the net for an equalizer. All their hard work undone, and with Arsenal finally breaking through, it seemed as though the floodgates would open. With the scores deadlocked, the match would enter extra time. Although it seemed like it was Arsenal's time to shine, they were worn out. During the break, many were sat on the floor, exhausted. Swindon manager Danny Williams did not lose his belief. "I knew my lads had trained hard, and would have more power than them in extra time. They wouldn't lose," he would go on to reflect. Chances fell to both teams in extra time. Bobby Gould had a chance to get his and Arsenal's second, but Downsborough redeemed himself by making yet another save. Roger Smart also had a chance to get his second, but Bob Wilson managed to push the ball behind via the post. The corner was swung in and was scrambled across the muddy surface in the box. Arsenal failed to clear the ball, and it fell to Donald Rogers. He controlled it before sliding it past Bob Wilson and 3 Arsenal players on the line to restore Swindon's lead. Half-time and extra time followed, and Swindon had 15 minutes to make history. By this point, Arsenal had used up all they had in the tank, and in the 119th minute, Rogers ran deep into the Arsenal half, one-on-one with Wilson. He rounded the Arsenal goalkeeper before sliding the ball into the net to make it 3-1 and seal the League Cup for Swindon Town. Swindon proudly paraded the trophy through the stadium in front of their delirious fans. Donald Rodgers stated, "Nothing prepares you for when you step out in front of 100,000 people. We never had any thoughts of losing, definitely not. We kept beating the top teams, First Division teams. We were a good side." The victory propelled Swindon, who a few weeks later would seal promotion to the old Second Division. They have since fluctuated between the various divisions, and in one of their next visits to Wembley in 1993, sealed a place in the top tier for the first ever time. The League Cup may be constantly undervalued and questioned these days, but with stories like this, there is clearly a huge value to it, and Swindon's stunning victory over Arsenal serves as an inspirational story that proves that anything is possible. And whatever happens to the League Cup in the future, nobody will ever be able to take Swindon's League Cup victory away from them.